I go so far. I know I'm sounding like an old person, but I go so far back with Philly that I remember there was like hardly no Philly rappers.
Really?
Like I used to come out here and there was no Philly rappers. Now you have 3 million on one block. You know what I'm saying? Big up everyone. Let me just take a time out to big up all the people that I mess with in Philly. Petey Crack, you know what I'm saying? Oskino, you know what I mean? Emilio, you know what I'm saying? Beanie, yo, please,
Meek.
come home. Meek Mill, he knows that's my brother. I see him in Miami, stunting on them heavy. And Cassidy's also my man too. You know what I'm saying? And just big up the
Jaleel, who you got on the album?
Jaleel, of course, and Cosmic Kev, man, big him up as well.
That's my brother.
That's my brother. Word.
So let's talk about the album here because
First
of the
off,
game.
let me just say that this is one of my best interviews so far because I like that you know what you're talking about. See, some people they just be mad generic with their questions, and see, I went to school for journalism. A lot of people don't know that. So when I'm doing an interview with somebody, in the first 5 seconds, I know if they know their stuff or not.
Yeah.
Because that I was gonna try to be a journalist. So in the first 5 seconds, I know if you know what you're talking about or not, and just say, I'm thrilled that you know your stuff.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
You know what? I can't talk to somebody without knowing them. How am I going to talk to you?
No, but in this day and age, you can grab an iPhone and you're a blogger. You know what I'm saying? I could just
I don't come from that,
You know what I mean?
We professional out here. We know what we doing.
Yes.
So let's talk about the album, Student of the Game, okay?
Yes.
I've been bumping it in the car. I like what you did with this album.
Thank you so much.
Because you're smart enough to know that you have a fan base that still appreciates your 90s and early 2000 music. Right. But you're smart enough to know that you can't come into 2013 and not turn up.
Right.
You know?
She blew up my whole secret, y'all. She knows everything. That was my secret, but continue.
So the album is a combination of the two, which salute, because this is a smart thing. I mean, you got French, you got the New York ties here. You got French, Raekwon, Busta. But then you took it back a little bit to the Pharrell, because you had, you and Pharrell got a history, and Scarface, and Pete Rock.
Right.
So this is definitely a combination of everything that you do.
You know what it is like I said, I respect this new generation. A lot of people who came out in the 90s like me, I could see them bitter. I could see them mad. I could see them saying, "Oh, that's not real hip hop." And you know what? They're absolutely right, but they're also wrong. There's something that's being right and wrong at the same time, because you have to gravitate towards the kids. You know what I'm saying? The kids and the younger generation is what drives hip hop. Doesn't mean it runs hip hop. A lot of people will credit Jay-Z to being the best hip hop artist, and I believe he's like 42, 40, something like that. I'm 35 years old. I'm still feel young, but what it is I do like the new stuff, but I wanted to actually pay respect to where I came from as well. So that's why I put it together. And that's the reason why the album is called Student of the Game. A lot of people say, yo, that's a humbling title. You a legend.
Right.
Why would you call yourself a student? Because I had to call it a humbling title so I can bring in a new generation and bring in the older generation and let them sit down and then let me be the teacher, because the album's actually the teacher. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, that guy that tried to bridge the gap. Now, if I'm successful at it, if a person like you, you could love the album because you know the 90s and you know you're on the radio station, so you know what's them added records.
Yeah.
Them top 40 records, you got to play those as well.
But I like them as well because we're in a different generation.
Well. That's what I'm saying. But some people, they don't want to do that. Some people want to, hold on to the Timberlands. I still wear Timberlands as well, but they want to hold on to the Timberlands, the Champion hoodies, and just look rough all day, and we don't live in that day and time. There's people who actually have a wonderful time and have a wonderful life, and I'm from the hood, so I keep it hood, but guess what? I haven't lived in the hood in over 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta recognize that I'm hood, but I'm also, in another realm. But what do? I try to bring it together. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this is my favorite album since N.O.R.E. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Word up.
I think it speaks to the evolution of hip hop too. Like hip hop used to be the music of the streets. We, poor people. Yeah. Now it's a global entity. It's a money making monster, right?
Yes, it is.
So it's not even there's white kids in West bubblefuck North Carolina listening to hip hop.
I mean, it's weird. So, it's weird. Like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's weird. I eat in expensive restaurants. I like, eating, in the Mr. Chow's, the Joe's, the real Joe's, the seafood joint.
The real one.
The real one.
The disclaimer, the real one.
Not Joe's Crab Shack, not that. I'm talking about the Joe's, where the stone crab, the real joint, and the one in Vegas. And when I walk in restaurants, I walk in with my wife, it'd be crazy. Like, Indian people be like, yo, N.O.R.E, what's up? What? And I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And Chinese people, and hip hop isn't for a race. It has no race to it. Hip hop has no age limit. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is just it expanded. So why not expand with it? You know what I mean? Like, right now, I just got named brand ambassador, flat fitty hats. You know what I'm saying? Big up to my Papi Rosado Moscato that we got coming out. We was drinking it. I had Busta.
You coming out with a Papi Moscato?
Yes. I had, last night we had the album release. Busta drank about 3 bottles with us. Waka Flocka came through, drank about 3 bottles with us. Neil Levine, everybody came out. Everybody who came in my section, they all had 2 or 3 bottles for themselves and their friends. Had their own personal bottles. So
where was I? I was here in Philly.
Yeah. I'm a little hungover, but I'm holding it down. Word.
Listen, so with the album, right? Yeah. I like that you kind of stayed true to your little skits, because I remember with the early albums, you always used to have your little skits. So you got Kevin Hart on here, which he's from Philly.
Right.
So I definitely appreciate that.
I forgot.
I'm surprised Chocolate Drop didn't make an appearance, because he got his alter ego.
You know what? This was pause. This was early Kev before he blew up. You know what I'm saying? This was like he was blown up. Pause. But it was like right before that stage. So that's the reason why I didn't put his name on there, because he's so big right now. I didn't want to get upstaged by his name. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted people to listen to the skit and say the skit is dope, not just because Kevin Hart is on the skit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I know he's gonna flip on me. He's gonna be like, yo, you didn't use my name. He's still like, I still think I could outrank Kevin Hart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and him met on the set of Paper Soldiers. His very first movie was with me.
Well, he said that in the skit. He said he got $7 from the movie.
Yeah. We didn't even.
You said you got one.
Get that. I got 7. He didn't even get that. And it was a joke for people who don't know. That's why you see at the end I say, "We love you, Dame." That wasn't actually a part of the skit. I actually went back in to record it because at the time Dame was super rich. Him and Jay were together, and it would have been funny then, but now they're going through their things. So I went back in, and at the end of that skit, you hear me say, "We love you, Dame," because I just wanted
put in the disclaimer.
Yeah, I wanted him to know that. You know what I mean? It was recorded when you was in the top of the world, so I don't know his situation if he's not on the top of the world or not. Yeah. But I know that him and Jay and the business has separated, so I wanted him to know that it was a joke. You got Scott
Disick on here acting gangster too, which it doesn't even sound like him anymore.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Scott Disick is the homie, man.
Really?
A lot of people don't know that. Like, Scott comes to Miami, and he calls me, he calls Raul. Well, he makes sure, because he'll call me, because he calls from different numbers, and I don't recognize his number. So then he'll have Raul call me, and I'll pick up for Raul. And he's like, we have a Scott calling. I'm like, I didn't know. He's like, yo, meet us here. And we just go, we hang out, we get drunk as hell. And so one day I went to live with him, I believe. And I was like, yo, I got to go to the studio. So he was like, well, I'm coming too. So I was like, word? He was like, yeah. So I was like, all right. So we both had like Suburbans outside. I jumped in mine. He jumped in his. We went to the studio. We was getting drunk. And he was turned up. He was ratchet that day. He was turned up. And
I was ratchet.
I was like, why don't you just come in the booth with me? So we went in the booth and we started bugging out. And we got more of it. I got 20 minutes or more of it. And he's a fan. Like, I think the reason why he messes with N.O.R.E is because N.O.R.E always just beats N.O.R E. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm never, a
funny
different
style.
way. You know what I'm saying? So we went in and we bugged out. You know what I mean? As well as you know, Vic Cruz, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
He said, I salsa on him.
Yes, you can tell we Latino, right?
We immediately went.
We said Vic Cruz. It's almost, if we was any other race, that would have been racial right there. Right. We said Victor Cruz.
And we both went.
Word up, you know what I'm saying? Vic Cruz is my man, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted, you know what it was, is I'm really a student of the game. And Kanye West did an interview. And he said, you know, the Good Music compilation is a dope album. We got no skits, we got no intros, we got no outros. And if you look at my Gucci book bag right now, the only album I have in my bag is the Good Music compilation. I love that album.
Yes.
I absolutely love that. This is the first time I ever said that. I absolutely love the Good Music album. But the one thing that I saw that was missing was that. Like, I want to be entertained in between songs. Like, when you heard a big album and you heard, yo, you know, the chick wanted me to doodle on her. And you're like, you know, and I doodled on her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I was entertained by that skit. When you hear Pun, you know, his skits, you know, when he was talking about running treads and all that, like, I was entertained. Like, to me, that it painted a picture that, you know, that you could visually see. So I wanted a person, as soon as they cut on it, like, if you look at the first thing that comes on is Kenny Smith. Yeah. Kenny Smith is on TNT every single day, every time a basketball game comes on. Kenny the Jet Smith, he's the guy there with Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal. He's from my hood. People from my hood don't even claim him because they don't know. And that's why I didn't coach him to say whatever. That's why he said, you better know the names of the building.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people get around me. They wanna rap. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to show that. And so what it is from the minute you put on the album to the very last song, I wanted you to be entertained. I wanted you to be entertained in between songs. I wanted you to be like, yo, why does he have Scott on the album? I wanted you to be like, what is Victor Cruz doing there? I wanted people to be like, hang resume. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted people to be like, wow. And to me, that's what a complete album is. Like, to me, I don't do the mic rating things, but to me, the Good Music album, to me, is a 10 out of 1 or 10 is a 10, but I would give it a 9.5 because of that one flaw. So that's really why I'm trying to tell you, I'm a student of the game. I've seen Kanye say that, and I was like, that is the one mistake to me, sir. I mean, I love the album.
Yeah.
But there is no skits. There is nothing to laugh about. Like, you know what I mean?